What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. The link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Has Feminism Freed Men? Inspired by some words from Marcus A. Brown earlier today on his Hangout. If you're not subscribed to his page, subscribe. He basically said, the guy's ability to maneuver in this bachelor life, whether it's especially going abroad, is kind of due to feminism. Like feminism laid the groundwork for all of this that's happening now, and I agree. I thought I made a video about this a long time ago, but I don't know now because I don't really watch my videos like that. So, but I got to get into it. And thank you, dog. Thank you for saying that. Here's the thing. First and foremost, part of the feminism thing was equality. And it morphed. And now, feminism in some senses lacks femininity. So when guys, and women were looking for feminism and equality and to change the dynamics of the male-female relationship. And one of the things about that was when they changed the dynamics of the male-female relationship, it always seemed to have looked like that they were the only group that thought they could change or that they would change. Like the women were allowed the opportunity to change, but the men were just going to stay the same. And we can clearly see that's not how it worked out. So you have all of these things that's going on in the process. Women wanted to be independent. They didn't want to depend on men. And because they didn't want to depend on men, it kind of freed men to not have to provide for women. But now on the back end, you hear women complaining that men aren't providing or protecting. But that's part of being independent. You are your own protector and your own provision. You know what I'm saying? Your own source of provision. So in some ways, feminism and that ideology freed the men. Now, I thought about this because I listened to the old clips of Shahrazad Ali talking about the future effects of subscribing to feminism for black women. And even in that, I don't think she looked at it from a perspective then of, she knew how it would affect the male-female relationship, and she knew what it might do with the women, but I don't think she was able to predict that how the men would change. And I'm just saying that because of what I said earlier, like they didn't think about they didn't have the foresight enough to think that the men would change too. Because when you hear women, even in this time, talk about men, they want the new feminist benefits, but the old school men. And not taking into consideration like people like Amber Rose, who's trying to raise their son to be a feminist. When that young boy becomes a grown man, raised by his mother the way she's raising him, how can you get an old school man out of that process? And this is what a lot of these women, what men have been talking about for years with a lot of these women in single mother households or just unilateral parenting. You get what I'm saying? Now we have that part of feminism and wanting to run the show. It affects the next generation of women as far as the type of men that they're looking for and the type of men they're going to get. The other thing, the sexual liberation. See, you ladies feel like they're sexually liberated to do what they want to do, screw who they want to screw, whatever, etc., etc., etc. But the problem is, that comes with men saying, cool, obviously, everybody could just, go get what they want, however way they want it. So commitment is dying. Because men like, hey, well, look, you liberated yourself sexually, so you don't want to be with one particular person. So, cool. That means we're not going to be with one particular person. can be with multiple people. We all have options now, you know, and that's the thing. So it frees men. You have the old school society. You got men like myself who were kids in the 80s and the 90s, and we're not like the men were in the 80s and the 90s because we saw how the men got played in the 80s and the 90s by by the females in our families, and so we see that coming a mile away in our age group when they're trying to play these games. Some of us, we fell prey to certain things. We've all played the fool. That's true. But thanks to feminism, it's like, well, you laid the groundwork for these guys saying, I don't have to do it. I'm not gonna lay on the sword for anybody, you know. The thing about feminism that pushed a more masculine visual or actions of women, and now feminism, like I said, lacks femininity. So now what happens is men are looking for femininity and women don't know what femininity is. So, you know, now you got guys going to different races, different cultures that may be in your same ethnicity, different regions of the world to find femininity that isn't here. And you have to, and that freed men to open up their options. You know, we got to thank feminism for that, because not only is there a global economy, there's a global relationship market now. And that's and that says how bad things are, that guys are willing to save their money and go abroad to find femininity that they can't find here. That's the other thing. Like I said earlier, I think women were expecting the men to stay the same while they changed. And the crazy part about that is this: hypergamy. See, now, because women expected men to stay the same while they changed, this is kind of the birthplace of hypergamy. I want to do what I want to do, but I want you to be a rock. I want to be able to be flaky, but you need to be a rock. I want to be able to vacillate back and forth and blow in the wind, but I need you to be consistent. Well, the problem with that is this: you've built a reputation of being inconsistent and flaky to a rock. A rock isn't looking for inconsistency. So now these guys can be, you free these men to be inconsistent because they expect inconsistency and flakiness from women. They expect women to use that 300 analogy: give nothing but take everything. So now men are looking at women like, you're not going to give me anything and you're going to try to take everything, so let me be just as shrewd. And now women are like, wait, no, we need to work together. And it's like, no, we don't. And the reason I say that is because feminism freed men to be free from chivalry. Now women are looking for chivalry, provision, protection. But here's the thing: women have for decades gone so far promoting and participating and reinforcing feminism that when they want this chivalry that they killed, they don't know how to put forth the effort to be feminine. You know, if you want these men to be chivalrous again, you're going to have to put in the same amount of effort to show them why your femininity is worth it for them to be chivalrous. And because people were raised in the ideology of feminism, a woman putting forth effort to make a man happy was never taught. As a matter of fact, it was frowned upon in the establishment. So now what? Really, you freed the men because the men know you're not going to put any effort towards making them happy. Same thing with marriages, and marriage was cool when if you were unfaithful, you could get divorced for infidelity, and guys would lose half. They understand that, but losing half because of irreconcilable differences and people being cool with that, it changed the ball game. You freed men from even marrying. Prenuptial agreements being null and void after a certain amount of time. It changed the ball game. Now you free guys for thinking their marriages last. People bring up Donald Trump, but you gotta remember one of Donald Trump's marriages, he divorced his wife before the prenup went invalid because he wanted to keep his money. See, now we know the rules, and even if the rules are unfair to us, we know how to get in and get out without losing everything. And it freed men to not be as responsible for women as we were in the past. And right now, I think women want the newly found freedom, but they want the security of chivalry. Can't get that because chivalry is partnered with femininity. That's the thing. So I think feminism freed the men because, and you look at it when you go out, women are exceedingly trying to be more and more masculine to the point where it's like we got to accept anything, and to the point where women attack other women for being too feminine. That's a bad thing, and that culture is going to be the death of women. I'm gonna be honest with you, American women in particular, Western women, however you want to call it. Because men don't ask for much. And if you can't provide the little that men ask for, you call men natural hunters. Hunters go find what they're looking for if it ain't where they at. So gotta agree, man. I really do. Feminism has freed a lot of men. I mean, yeah, some guys, we still want relationships and commitment and marriage. And that's the other thing. Men aren't the ones who file for divorce majority of the time. So because women have failed in keeping a commitment, you free men from, just in a probability and number sense, looking at women like they're really going to be committed. As far as, think about it. Every woman says she's not that type, but the problem is percentages say most women are. Even with that, I'll say this and end it. Feminism freed men because women's primary thing was being loving and nurturing, and feminism killed the presumption and stereotype of women being loving and nurturing to not just their children but to men. So since for decades women have not been loving and nurturing to men, you freed the men to not have to be chivalrous because they're not getting any love or nurturing from you, So they can go get it wherever they want. That's why you see these guys vacationing. I'm going to extend this a little bit. I'm going to extend it for another minute. Here's the thing. You see all the things women want to do. They want to go out and eat and go on vacation and go shopping and go to trips. You see more and more guys doing this. See, feminism is starting to free the guys to actually take care of themselves because they are accustomed to women not taking care of them. Women don't love them and nurture, not love us or nurture us or do things for us. we know women don't reciprocate to us when we give now. So feminism freed us to do the things that women, women long for men to do for them, because guess what? He's just a man. You ain't got to do nothing for him. So if you don't have to do it for him, he could do it for himself. And you can't say anything because you do things for yourself. That's part of the hypergamy, right? You do things for you and you expect men to do things for you. So now men are like, well, I'm going to do things for me because I know you're not. So this is what I mean by what I said. Y'all have a good one. Peace.